Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Allen Family Firewood. We're glad you're here. As you can see, we're inside today. We've got 4 days of rain going on out there, and the wood yard is off limits because we are not going to rip up that expensive gravel that we just put down.
No.
Can't do it.
No.
So, what are we going to do in here today?
Well, they've seen this in a video before, but I didn't tell them quite what we were going to do, but we're going to build a kiln, you guys. That's what we're going to do. And it's going to be a little bit different than how most people do a kiln.
Shocking.
Yeah, because we're a little different. And we're cheap. So,
Have to be.
I mean, I guess if we had 80, 100 grand, we could go buy one of those, I don't know, this Nile kiln. There's a bunch of different kilns.
Yeah,
out
we don't
there.
have room for something like that.
No. Most people put a shipping container out in their yard and, they run it off on a wood boiler. That's a lot of cabbage and it takes up a lot of space in the wood yard to do that. So we're going to do it inside. You guys have seen in a bunch of the other videos, and you can work your magic and show them a clip of before of kind of what this all looked like before. So
The tragedy that it was.
yeah, why don't you? She's gonna do that right now.
I can do that.
Poof. All right, so you got to see that. It's a mess. It was a mess. I had my son, little Phil, was here, and we hauled load after load in the dump trailer to the dump of just crap and ripped it out. I mean, you can see this whole wall over here, we ripped that out and punched a hole through there because what you guys didn't know was there's a great big room back there that's 15 or 16 by 16. To me, that makes perfect sense. That's a good room for a kiln. And if I did my math right, I think we can fit like 9 pallets of wood in there. And 9 pallets, they're half cords, that comes out to 4.5 cord of wood. That's not too shabby for an inside type kiln. But we had to do this on the cheap because the accountant said, no, you've spent too much. So
It's always a battle.
and I'm going to have the kiln one way or another. So I did some horse trading with my buddy, and he built this plenum thing. I guess that's what it's called. That's going to sit on top of the wood stove. And a lot of this stuff I've had, and I've just been picking up pieces. I did have to go buy a lot of this insulation, and whoa, I'll tell you what, they don't give that away. That is some expensive stuff. I had some of the duct work, but I had to go buy some more of that, and they don't give that away either. But the object of this whole setup is to build this for less than $1,000.
Yep.
Now, we have the lumber because I can make the lumber, so that's a big part of it right there. A lot of the plywood came from just the demolition around here and stuff that I've had at the house and whatnot, but we should be under $1,000 to do this. That foam board was like $60-something a sheet.
Everything is so much more expensive now.
And this is going to be done cheaply, you guys. It's not going to be perfect. Most kilns have like, I don't know, R50 insulation in the walls, and I mean, you could heat them with a candle. I don't have that kind of cash to spend on insulation, so instead of having the 12-foot ceilings, I'm going to bring the ceiling down to 6 foot, just enough to get in there. Probably going to have to duck a little because our pallets or the sideboards are only like 5.5 feet tall. So that's all I really need room for. So why heat double the space? I'm going to bring the ceiling down, and that's what this R19 insulation is for. I'm going to lay that out on the ceiling. I get it, it's probably not enough, but maybe I can go back. Maybe once we start selling some dry wood this winter, we can go buy some more insulation and and put another layer up there. And
Yep. If you think it needs it, I mean, we'll have to see as we go to
yeah, it'd be almost R40 up there then.
see how it works.
I can't see buying that foam board at $60 a sheet. That stuff's just outrageous.
Crazy.
The wall that's facing us, you guys, didn't have any insulation in it, and it's only a 2x4 wall. So I got this R13 to go on the wall, and I get it, it's not enough to really hold it in. But I think as time goes on, we can go get that 2-inch foam board or 4-inch and nail that onto the wall. I mean, I think that stuff's R20, 2-inch thick. So
Yeah.
that won't be so bad. We could even put it on the outside of the wall out here. It's all stuff that we can add on to. I want to make sure it's going to work, for one, because most people use a wood boiler or they're using dehumidification units. The dehumidifiers are just outrageous on the electricity, and that's just crazy. So we're running the wood stove in here anyway, burning all of our crap wood. My thought is to come off in this, and I've got this insulation back there to wrap all the ductwork with. And then I got an inline fan to put in with it. It will hopefully shoot that hot air off the wood stove into that room. And that's the object to a kiln, from what I understand of watching YouTube videos, because I don't know what I'm doing. You're basically building a clothes dryer, you guys. You put hot air in and wet, moist air's got to go out. So I've got another piece of ductwork already up there that's plumbed to go outside. We just got to make that come down into the room. So the heat will come in on one end and the hot, moist air will go out on the other. I got a bunch of these fans just for blowing all the air around. But there's still a lot to do inside that room. We'll take you in there in a second, but we're gonna keep doing this in like a series, I think.
As you progress.
Because I've got a week, we're not even gonna be able to go out in the wood yard, so.
No.
That just shoots my whole idea of doing a quart a day right out the window.
Yeah, like always.
Yeah, the best of plans never seem to work, so. But we might as well take advantage of it, work inside, build this out, and get some revenue created from the kiln, because once we got it, we got it.
Right.
We can bring the wood in and out. We've got that pallet jack, that electric pallet jack. So,
Jack.
yeah, jack. Pallet jack.
Right.
That'll work good. But it's going to come in pieces. I mean, I've still got, maybe we'll do a section where I'm doing some insulating and building out the ceiling. Maybe hanging up all the ductwork and insulating.
Just to kind of show the process and what your thoughts are as far as the flow.
I don't even know how hot it's going to get in that room. I mean, the room's roughly 15 by 15, maybe a little bit more, and the ceiling's going to be at 6 foot. I don't know how hot we can get it. I have no clue. I mean, that wood stove will pump out some pretty serious heat, especially if you're sitting right there feeding it. But so I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I know as a kid, I threw wood in the basement.
Yeah.
Green, and we dried it with a wood stove. I mean, it dried out eventually. Most of these fancy kilns, they pay thousands and thousands for, I think they do it in like, what, a week? It takes them a week to dry it.
Yeah, it might take longer in here,
I'm
but
pretty sure it's gonna take longer, yeah.
it'll be a test to find out, so.
And we want to be able to dry, I mean, I think the first load of wood we put in, it's probably gonna be a quart of maple, a quart of oak, and a quart of pine, and we'll find something else to put in there, because I want to see how long it takes for each species to dry. And I mean, we don't have any fancy gauges or humidity sensors to change this or change that on a computer, but
No, we can pick up the ones that just tell you what the levels are, at least so we
Yeah.
know what's actually
some
going
sort of
on
a
in there.
remote thing that maybe they have them so that I could hook that inline fan to, Because we gotta be careful, because if that wood stove goes out
Yeah.
in the middle of the night and it's 0 out, it's gonna keep bringing all that cold air in, and I don't wanna freeze the water.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be aware of that when there's wood in there.
Yeah.
Just stuff it full of oak late as
Yeah.
we can in the evening and get over here as early as we can in the morning. It's gonna be a learning curve for sure.
And that's why we're gonna put in a pallet of oak, just to dry it out, because we're gonna need some overnight wood.
Right.
We'll burn the uglies.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? It'd probably make these guys happy and all get up if I took some of that chunk crap wood that's no good
Do it in the kiln.
and bring that in the kiln and dry it out and feed that through the.
It makes
I
sense
mean-
at this point. It makes sense for
As
that.
long as I don't have to store it, if I could put it in some sort of tote, bring it in, dry it, and keep it in here.
Yeah.
And just keep heating the kiln with
Probably
that.
worth grabbing a couple IBC totes just for that. I know.
I know. It's cheaper than building one. We
Yeah,
proved that out.
yeah,
We did that on the whiteboard. So.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. All right, so I think you guys get the idea. This is gonna go on the wood stove. Ductwork's gonna come up, go into that room, come down, blow hot air in, moist air is gonna go out. I'm gonna build a set of swinging doors in the front here. This isn't gonna be anything high-tech, but it's also something that somebody could build in their garage. It doesn't have to be that
Right.
big. If you've got a wood stove and you know somebody that'll do tin work, make your own kiln. I mean, it doesn't have to be. I mean, I know
Primo.
people do solar kilns, and there's a ton of different ways of doing it, but this one just made sense because we're already running the wood stove.
Yeah, and we have the room in the building, which is
Yeah.
already here. It's not taking up additional space
Yeah,
and
yeah, we weren't even using that back then.
Gotta-
It's just, it was a
full of junk.
catch-all.
yeah.
I was piling up crap that I don't need,
No.
so it's gone.
He's a little bit of a pack rat.
Yeah, as we were going through things, guys, I said, do I need this in the next 6 months? If I don't, chuck it, get rid of it. And it hurt, because some of that stuff was expensive, but it made room, and we're gonna have room to do this. But let's bring them in there and kind of show them. I mean, it's been closed up, and it's kind of moldy in there, but
It's not bad. It's
not terrible in there. I suppose I could paint it, but I don't think the firewood cares
I
if it's
don't think
painted up
so.
pretty or not.
No.
It's probably gonna get moldy with all the
One more thing.
humidity. Yeah. So we'll bring you in there and kind of show you what we're gonna do in there. All right, so you can see the door is, yeah, it's exactly 6 foot. So we might have to inch that up a little bit, but I'm basically just gonna run a 2x4 across here and then put 2x6s similar to like what you see up top here. These ones are gonna come out. I would use them, but all the 2x6s that I sawed are a full 6 inches. So I'm gonna use those, but we'll just run across like that with all the 2x6s and strap it, insulate it, and we'll have a good ceiling. I'll insulate these walls with a 2x4 insulation and probably just plywood it. I think that's the answer. And then over here, I don't know how good the light is, but I mean, there's a doorway there. I'm just gonna take that blue foam board and go right across instead of tearing out all that sheetrock. But that's about it, you guys. I mean, I got some power outlets in here to run all the fans, and it's a concrete floor. I think this is gonna work. I think. The hot air will come in through the ductwork over here and probably come right down right about here and blow down onto the ground. So that this is where the hot air will come in. And then if you look in the ceiling over here, up top, there's a piece of ductwork up there. I'll bring that down through probably right about here for the hot moist air to go out and outside. I think that's basically all we really got to do to make a kiln and pump hot air in here. I mean, it's going to take some time and some messing around to get it figured out, but I think it's going to work, you guys. I hope, and maybe you guys got some better ideas and different ways of doing this, but you need to get it hot in here and get rid of the moist and bring in the hot dry and move the air around. I got all kinds of fans, so that's not a problem. We got plenty of fans. I don't think there's going to be much more to it than that, but it's just going to take some time to take all this out and build in all new stuff and get all that stuff done. It's going to take a little bit, but we'll get to it. We'll get it done, and heck, we got a week to do it. If I can't do this in a week, then I'm goofing off. There better be wood in here in a week. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So we're wasting time. I need to get started ripping out stuff. But we'll show you all this as we get going and as we do it. How's that? What I'm doing, you guys, is this is an exterior wall. It's already insulated and plastic, and behind that is a 12-inch concrete wall, because we're below ground here. But I gotta have something for the roof ceiling stringers that are gonna go across to sit on. So they're gonna sit on this rough cut 2x4. The reason I took out the sheetrock, I mean, I guess I could have nailed it onto the sheetrock, but I figured sheetrock has a little bit of give to it, and I didn't want it sinking in or coming loose later on, so that's why I did that. I just figured it made sense, but if you were doing this in a shed or a garage, I mean, I would certainly cut away whatever you had to, that way you're hooked in tight to the framing. I mean, I guess this really isn't a how-to video. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it'll turn into a how-to video. Never know. You never know. But we're going to take you guys along each step, and I'm going to keep going here. Ugh.
Well, as you can see, he's hauling in the 2x6s. That was a real treat, going out in the pouring rain and bringing all those in.
Yeah.
Dozen of them.
And they're wet and heavy.
They are so heavy. Can you get that?
Yep. Just gotta do a little, turn them into place.
Doing a good job.
Yep. Yeah.
Probably the worst part of it.
It is, trying to get those so the water's just dripping off of them. They are wet and green, so but we're getting there.
Cool.
Getting some of the roof pieces up. We'll see how much we get done today. I'm hoping I can at least get all these up. I'm not sure we're gonna get it all strapped off or insulated, but there's always tomorrow.
Yeah. What you think is gonna go quick always takes much longer.
Yeah, you got that right. All right, I gotta get the nail gun and nail these into place. Well, I think we done all right today. I mean, I did a lot of ripping and tearing.
Yeah.
I mean, the old ceiling that was started in here, that had to get ripped down, and cutting the sheetrock over there to get everything in. I mean, plus we had to lug these all in from outside. Those are heavy.
Yeah, they were. And wet.
Yeah. They're all up though. At least all the floor stringers are up. Ceiling stringers, whatever you want to call them.
Been a long day.
Yeah, yeah. And I did frame in a manhole right here so that I can go up top at a later date just to add more insulation. But I guess kind of the next step is start insulating and strapping. And they can't really see it, but that wall over there still needs to be insulated and plywooded. We'll have to plywood the ceiling too. So
Yeah.
we're getting there. it's just gonna be a,
Feels like a little hobbit house in here.
well, it does. Every video, YouTube video I've watched on a kiln says, you know, I mean,
Well, yeah, that
use
makes
all
sense.
the space you can, and
Not used to having the ceiling so close to my head.
the pallets, I think, come up to probably this high right here, so if you're gonna go that high, might as well make enough room so that you're not
Yeah.
walking around bent over. I think this is gonna work. I mean, whether or not it heats it up hot enough, we're gonna, that's gonna be a trial and error thing.
I don't know. I'm just looking at this new construction. I mean, if it doesn't work, I suppose you could make a room for yourself here.
This wouldn't be a bad place right here.
Bed,
Yeah,
little mini fridge for the dew.
yeah, yeah.
I think it would work
Wouldn't
for
have
you.
to, nobody complaining about dropping sawdust all over the
No,
floor.
it would be a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
You'd save gas, not driving home and back. We've got options.
Yeah, yeah, and I gotta get a steel grate too, cause Noel there from Noel's Garden Tractors, he was doing a thing where he was cooking a steak on his wood ashes that he took out of the wood stove.
Oh,
He
cool.
might even been cooking a steak in the wood stove. I gotta go back and watch that one again, but
Wow, then you would be all set.
I still haven't found a good grate, but someplace I have a cast iron cooker.
Skillet.
No, it's like a little mini grill.
Oh,
And I
okay.
could shovel some ashes out of the wood stove, put that in, and I'd cook dinner right here.
You don't cook dinner at home. Funny what you do when you have to do it for yourself, huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go hungry, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Let's hope the wood kiln works, you guys.
Yeah, that's the angle.
I'd rather stay in a warm, cushy bed, and get fed, and have my laundry done. All right, you guys, we might as well wrap this up. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's-
part one is done.
Yeah, it's after 8 o'clock at night, so.
And you may have a lot of this all done by the time we start the next one, because that's
Yeah.
just time-consuming stuff and basic,
Yeah, it's not really wood-related
right?
insulating and doing
Construction.
stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
The interesting part's gonna be whether or not it works.
Yeah.
But,
And there's a few steps to go till we get there, so.
yeah, I gotta build doors and duct work, and
Yeah.
there's gonna be quite a bit to making this
Yeah.
all go, but it's gonna rain all week, so
Yeah.
I'm here. I'll be
We're
here
on it.
tomorrow morning at 7, going right at it. So.
Yeah. Well,
All
we
right,
got a
you
good
guys.
start.
Yeah, let's wrap this up and call it good, and,
Yep,
all right. So take care, you guys, and I guess we'll catch them on the next one.
we will.
It'll probably be right here.
Thanks for watching.
All right, bye, you guys.
Bye.